Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. My name is Matt Paquette and I am a graphic designer who specializes in tabletop games. Today will be the second video in a series called Component Contemplation, where I talk about components for games that I've worked on that have posed some kind of design challenge for me or that were just interesting in general that I wanted to share. Today's component comes from a game called Tutankhamun. This is the third iteration of Tutankhamun, originally released in 1993 by game designer Reiner Knizia. This particular version is coming out soon. It's currently on Kickstarter by 25th Century Games and Chad Elkins. So without further ado, let's get into it. Chad and I were talking one night about what we wanted to change in the game, component-wise, and how, was there anything in the previous version that we wanted to address and kind of reiterate and make a little bit more thematic or more useful or whatever it was. So one of the things that both of us kind of thought about and brought up was the way that scoring was done. In the last game, scoring was handled with these little coins. So basically what you did is every player got up to 30 of these coins to start the game, and they had to continuously dole these out and get rid of them. The person with the most or the least coins at the end of the game would win. Now, that seemed a little fiddly to Chad and I. We wanted to kind of remove that fiddly bit from the game. So we were kind of talking back and forth on how we were going to do this. During that time, one of the games that I kind of kept popping up in my feed, or that I kept looking at, was a game called Ice Cool, and it had some really neat mechanics in it. It had these meeples that had a slit down the center that would kind of straddle themselves onto the walls of one of the game components. I thought that was really cool. So maybe we could kind of take that methodology or that component kind of mechanic and apply it to Tutankhamun. But how were we going to do that thematically? We kind of wondered. What we ended up coming up with was, what if the game meeples that we're going to be we were going to straddle the walls with would be like canopic jars that you might find in the tomb, and we could put all the scoring around the box so that these canopic jars would make their way around the box instead of continuously having to get rid of these little coins. Okay, so I sketched it up real quick and kind of showed Chad on my webcam, and before you know it, we had a pretty solid concept going. So we designed it up. We had Jackie Davis provide some amazing art for the inside and the outside of the box, mocked it up, sent it off to Print and Play Games, and got back the prototype, which I think floored both of us. This is what we ended up coming up with. So here's the box. As you can see, the inside has like a darker sense than the outside does because there's less light in the inside of the tomb. And then for the player canopic jar score markers, I did 6 silhouettes of different canopic jars and had a friend of mine print them up in resin. And as you can see, they have a slit down the center that basically threads right onto the wall of the box. So basically, during the game, as you're getting rid of all your wealth, these score markers move down the track. Great. I think we kind of found our solution. We loved it, but there was one thing missing. We needed some kind of representation of Tutankhamun's sarcophagus in the tomb. We thought of a couple of different things right off the bat. I said, well, what if we did an injection molded game tray by game trays and kind of had it really look like we could do it in gold and have it like a really gold sarcophagus. And that was kind of neat, but it was going to be expensive and we wouldn't be able to have color. We could just have one color for it. So that wasn't our biggest fan of that. So the next one was, what if we did like a full floor cardboard insert? Again, that was not too bad, but it wasn't our favorite. Then Chad kind of suggested, well, what if we did like a coffin-shaped box, but just the box top, and then had Jackie do some art for that? Yeah, that sounds good. So this is what we ended up with. So we have the Tutankhamun's sarcophagus, but it's just a box top. So this fits right in the box like that. Problem solved. So that's pretty much how we solved that issue, and we're really, really happy with how it came out, because it's so vastly different from the other two versions of the game, yet still maintains the thematic links, and it's not cumbersome, it's easy to use, and I think it really enhances the interactive gameplay of the game. So it's on Kickstarter right now. You can go to Tutankhamun.games to check it out. It's on for 2 or 3 more days. If Ancient Egypt is your thing and you like take that kind of games, go check it out. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me, and we hope to see you next time. Have a good day.